Yo, what is up guys? It is Rhipr and here with the new video for you guys today. And guys, today we have a little bit of a different video. So I'm really excited, as you can tell by my voice, to do this video because I finally am going to be doing a tier list video. Now, why is this important? Because I've been really wanting to do this for a little while. Now, pre-warnings, doing this, I already organized a never played it category, so I don't have to do it ahead of time. Also already pre-ordered it from, oldest COD to new COD. And yes, there's a Warzone, which I'm going to do very last because that's probably going to be a debatable one that a lot of people will see how people feel about me after this video, truthfully. But if you guys enjoyed today's video, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you are new. Also check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/xripper. And on that note, I love you all. Enjoy today's video. All right, guys. So as you guys can see, we have the list. I already have the never played a category. This is done. I don't need to worry about that. So to give you guys some context, I haven't played COD for a super long time. Now, I really started in COD 4, right? Here's the thing though. Even though I started in COD 4, I went back to play the older CODs to kind of get the feel and I guess I could say foundation of why I love Call of Duty, and it was really, really cool. So I do have a rating for these three, but my main start of Call of Duty was COD 4, where I really, 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 really fell in love with the game. And then of course, played World at War, played Modern Warfare 2, so on and so forth. So let's just start off with it. Original COD. It is the foundational COD to why Call of Duty is a thing, right? So do I think it was perfect? No. Do I think it was great? No. But here's the truth of any game. I strongly believe this. There is a foundation to every good game, and that foundation has to have a place. No matter where it's at, it has to have a place and foundation. So, short and sweet, I think the best rating for Call of Duty, the original, truthfully guys here, is A. And here's the thing, it wasn't a perfect game. It wasn't. But it was a game that helped build a game that we're probably never going to have again, like Call of Duty. All right, so going on COD 2, keep it honest with you, COD 2 and COD 3, I have the same mixed feeling of. I played them both, a little bit more updated, but I just think they weren't it. And so I truthfully believe this. You're going to probably hate me for this, but I think COD 2 is a D game. D tier. It just wasn't it for me. I didn't like it, and I just don't know if that was, I just don't think that was it. I really don't. And let me make this clear, I have an S+ for specific games on this list that you can maybe either already predict or you'll see why. And obviously I have a D, which is, to get a D, I mean, you literally have to be the shittiest possible game to ever come out. And so you're gonna see where my placement is for these. But I think COD 2, which just wasn't it, and it was just, not it on that part. COD 3, easy C. Now here's my thing with this, before anyone gets mad at me. The reason why I'm putting this here is because I think COD 3 was a step up, but it still had its issues. And I think overall, there definitely was a lot of internal game things that pissed me off about it. But the thing is when I went back to try it, I really did see the foundation from the original COD, which really helped me a lot. But I do think that due to it not being, and obviously, I could say updated enough where I think it should have been, it is definitely going down to C. COD 4. I'm going to stick by the statement. If you put this anything below an A, you are disrespecting the fuck out of COD 4. I will stand by that statement. But if I had to give COD 4 a rating, truthful rating here, this is an S tier game. Not S+, but an S tier. Because an S tier, I strongly believe, means it is a overall top tier game and almost to untouchable level. And I think COD 4 really set the stone for the entire Call of Duty community. I think most people can agree with that. COD 4 was the real spark of Call of Duty and why it's as big as it is because of this game. And I also think the updates in this game and just the overall feel and movement is just untouchable. And I think overall, S tier is a pretty fair ranking for it. COD World at War. Call of Duty World at War. For you to try to step up COD 4 and be the next game of mine, it's a pretty hard task. I don't think it's a C or D, fairly. But if I had to give it a fair rating, obviously World at War Zombies was pretty good. But here's my opinion. The multiplayer wasn't my favorite. I think the thing that is decent about World at War is the fact that zombies were kind of the biggest point in my eyes of it. So I'm tied between a B and A. Honestly, a B plus would be the best place for this. But I think because I never really got into the multiplayer enough, and I could honestly say the zombies were amazing, I don't think it's a C for that reason. I think B is my placement for COD World at War. Because of zombies, I'm giving it a B to hopefully keep the Call of Duty community a little bit happy. Again, this is my list. I just think World at War is a B. Okay? All right. Modern Warfare 2. D tier. God awful. Terrible game. No one likes it. Man, I wish this game didn't exist. Right? If you think that, you're fucking mental. All right, cool. So we're going S+. Now, let me make this clear. S+ is one of the most... I mean, to get in this category, you have to be tippy top, untouchable. No game's ever gonna beat you, truthfully. And no game, I mean, in order to get to S+, you essentially have to be the #1 most overall loved game of all time. And the best mechanics, everything about it. MW2 is it. I mean, truthfully, and I'm gonna say this as an MW3 lover. I loved MW2. I loved MW3. I actually loved MW3 over this. But if I'm truthfully going over what game was the more successful one here, MW2 by far most successful Modern Warfare ones for sure. And I think S+. I mean, if you disagree with that, you're fucking crazy. Straight up, right? Black Ops 1. How do I word this? Black Ops 1 is a pretty touchy subject one because Black Ops 1 had a lot of good things to it. Obviously, this is where my sniping really took action. MW2 is all about trick shotting days for me, but Black Ops really was like the sniping side of me coming out. So because of that, it has a pretty special place in my heart. This is an A. This is like an A+ game. I don't think it was S. I think there was things to it that could have been better. I would argue BO1 had some of the best zombies map for sure, in my opinion. But Black Ops 1, I think A is the best rating for it because yes, it was one of the more top games, definitely one of the more better Call of Duties for a lot of people, and definitely had the strongest community on it for sure. But I just think Black Ops 1, the biggest thing that really kept me going was the sniping that got me involved and the zombies. So for that, it is an A. MW3. Now again, this is my list, so you may disagree with me. I've seen a few tier list videos where people are putting this bitch at a B or A. That's just disrespectful. It's a fucking S tier game. Not an S+. Not an S+. But an S tier game. And here's why. Because I would strongly argue that if you're playing a Call of Duty, your go-tos, MW2, MW3, I'm even talking like young generation now. BO2, BO1, right? Ain't nobody saying fucking Call of Duty World at War. Ain't nobody saying Ghost. Ain't nobody saying Advanced Warfare, right? We're talking about the good games, the good games. And I stick by the statement. MW3 is the most fair S tier game out there, right? Definitely not S+ again, but I would argue this was one of my favorite times of sniping in Call of Duty history. It beats BO2 in sniping, and I'm gonna get to BO2 in a second in its tier release. But MW3 sniping was untouchable. It is the most memorable experience that I've ever had. And I just don't think it's gonna get beat. Whether you disagree with that or not, I don't know, but I just think that's the most fair. So I'm sticking with it. BO2. Right, so automatically, people are going to think this is easy in S tier. Oh, this is easy in A tier. It's an S plus. Now, here's my thing. Again, to get S plus, you have to be an untouchable game, meaning you have to be a game that is so beloved in the fucking community, to the point where in order to even be successful or to beat BO2, you essentially have to climb a fucking mountain to get to. And I think the BO2 mechanics, the sniping mechanics, the trick shotting abilities, the boat bangs, the window shots, you can't fucking replace it. BO2 was that game that just had it all. And overall, I mean, if you think BO2, MW2 are anything below S plus, go back, play the games, really play the games, and get hours in it. And I'm telling you, you will understand why BO2 and MW2 are the most S plus tier games I've ever seen get released. And I will stick by it. COD Ghost. Now this one may bother people. I'm just gonna say it ahead of time before I even place this. There's some people who hate me for this one. For all the COD Ghost lovers, right? People are like, oh, this is an easy BA game, right? Definitely, I don't know if they get into this S game, but people already say this is a strong BA game. People are really gonna hate me for this. I mean, really. This is a C game. Now, hold on. Let me explain why. Because COD Ghost, my biggest issues with this that kept me from this game. TTK, time to kill, just wasn't fucking it. I'll stick by that. It just wasn't it. Second issue, the maps, way too big. Other than the maps being way too big, you know what essentially combined the map issue with it? The colorings of the map were so fucking bland. Every map looked the same. It looked identical. It's like you couldn't tell you were playing a different map. That's an issue. That's an issue. If you are playing a game and you can't tell a difference with the map other than just by the items in it, and the colors just are fucking identical, that's just not it. Also, I would stick by the competitive scene in this game. I felt like just wasn't as big as it could have been. I feel like it was lacked on. So many people had complaints about it. So many people had issues. I also think the sniping as well in this game just wasn't it overall. And honestly, I just don't like it. And again, this is probably gonna bother people because people are gonna be like, oh, well, this is an easy B or A game for some people. And I understand why they believe that, because for a lot of people that I've talked to love this game. But for me, it's a C. And people may disagree with me, but I'm gonna stick with it. All right. This is gonna piss some people off. AW. Now, before I give this my rating place, let me make this clear. When I played AW, I played it for sniping and I played it for 90% competitive. Now, when I mean competitive, I mean like I was part of this team called NS. I basically did competitive tryharding in this fucking game, and I was good. We made it to some pretty high tiers in like the competitive side of it for really good amount of time, and I love the competitive part of this game. But jetpacks really showed me why futuristic games combining with Call of Duty aren't the right decision. I don't think that in any place we should ever put jetpacks near Call of Duty. So for that, it takes it out of B and up, right? So now we have a C or D situation. And I also will stick by that this game was another big key factor that hit with it is the fact that the movement overall was so choppy feeling. The maps didn't help. There were so many blockades, and right, you're like, oh, we have a jetpack and fly around. A majority of the maps were, if you were indoors, you couldn't really jetpack enough out to even do shit. And also think about it, you're in a gunfight and somebody's jumping up, flying in the air. Like, what? It's just fucking stupid. So for that, it's gonna bother some people. This is a D tier. And I mean this truthfully. To get into D tier, I mean you have to touch the low of games. And the fact that jetpacks were even involved in this game automatically ruins this game. Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Great game. Here's my thing. It came out after AW, automatically made it a great game, taking out a D, right? Because this was a no jetpacks, on the boots COD with a little futuristic feel, but decent movement. So right away, this beats goes, this beats this. I'll stick by this as well. It was, comparable. You know, it was good as World at War, just a little better. Now, what I'm questioning myself is, do I think that this is as good as BO1? Because that's where my issue is with this. I think for sniping community, this was a great game. A lot of snipers had fun. We also got a lot of good snipers out of this game that we're probably, you know, we got to thank this game for. So for my rating, again, my list here, guys. I'm gonna give this an A. I think it's fair where the placement is on this. I don't think it's an S tier. I don't think it's a C tier. Maybe B plus range. But I just don't think that anybody could say this game was really bad. Like, truthfully bad. It was a great game. IW, D tier. IW was one of the worst CODs I have ever seen get dropped in this fucking franchise. And I will stick by that. Everything about it, the futuristic, the jetpacks, the fucking gun movement, the time to kill, everything was bad. Nothing was good about it. And I would strongly stick by this. If you think this is anything above a D, bro, you're delusional. You're delusional. So for that, I don't have to say anymore. It's just bad. It's just bad. Sorry. Call of Duty World War II. This game had a lot of people mixed. I'll stick by that. A lot of people mixed on this game. But truthfully, if we're going off of honest opinions here, World War II was great. It was better than Ghost, better than COD 3. Is it as good as BO3 and Black Ops? My opinion, no. I would give World War II because that had the most, it overall was a great game for sniping. I'm gonna say World War II is a B game. And here's my thing. When I'm putting a game in B, I'm giving it average because truthfully, I think this game was a great game. I think everything that came along with it was a great game. I just don't think it was enough. BO4. You know what? Hold on, actually, give me a second. There's a reason. BO4 wasn't a bad game. But I'm gonna take back a placement from our World War II for this reason. I think BO4 was worse than World War II. The thing with World War II, you had a lot of snipers. With BO4, I think they just missed the mark by a hair. And I think the gunplay was it was all right, but not the best. But past that, I mean, the maps were good, but nothing really else was good about it. And I'll stick by that. I don't think this was the game that we were all expecting. And honestly, it just wasn't that good. Last three: Modern Warfare, Cold War, Warzone. This one's gonna get really, really touchy for a lot of people. There's gonna be some very angry people, in my opinion, on this one. But I got it. I'm gonna give it the truth of what I place these three. So Call of Duty, Modern Warfare. People are gonna be like, oh, Rhipr. Just wasn't good, bro. Just wasn't good, bro. That's easy CD, bro. Easy CD. But then there's people gonna be like, yo, Rhipr, this game was amazing. Easy AS. Or even a B. It was average. Here's how I see it. This game had, when it came to the gameplay, I think with the snipers, with the ADS overall in this game, with the actual gun interface of this game, was really good. I think Modern Warfare had one of the best engines in the most recent CODs. Better than Cold War engine. And I think the maps were the downside to this game, in my opinion. Because the maps in this game were so lackluster. And I also would stick by the fucking grayness of every map really hurt this game a lot, truthfully. And I will stick by it when I say that Call of Duty Modern Warfare, truthfully, was a B tier game. Now, again, you have to understand this. In order for this game to become an A, you have to outbeat World War II, Black Ops 2 essentially. I mean, you have to match up with it. And you have to outbeat BO4. I don't think this outbeat BO4, and I don't think it's equivalent to Black Ops. I don't think it's equivalent to Black Ops 3. So because of that, I have to put it in B. Okay? The last touchy one. So, oh, you guys are gonna love me when I do this one. Cold War, Black Ops Cold War. Whew. Probably one of the most rushed Call of Duties I have ever seen in this franchise. This game, when it came out, had so many issues. It caused such a dilemma in the community. It upset so many people. They have, I mean, even now, it took me now to realize how shitty this game is, but how much I also love it. And I really struggle to place this one, right? Because I can automatically tell you, this game is not an S, this game is not a D, right? So it leaves A, B, and C. This also is by far not an S+. This is one of these three. And here, before I reveal where I place this game, right? I think this game has now still has so much potential. Do I think that they're going to act on that potential as a company? No. Here's why. Because they're already focused on a new cut. And because of that, we don't know what even is going to be happening with this game. We just got Standoff, which was a massive W. But overall, this game struggled, right? Now, we're going off of previous rankings, right? Do I think it's better than Ghost? COD 3, right? And do I also think that it's either better than MW, BO4, can't talk, or do I think it's equivalent to BO1? Supposedly, this game was supposed to be the closest to BO1 feel, which was not. Taking out A, just automatically not an A. C or B? Here's the issue now. Is it better than MW? Not really. But is it better than Ghost? Yeah. So like this is where like a C plus or like that's where like a C plus would step in, because I think it's in between these. But really, fuck, bro, this is a hard one. I'm gonna have to say fair rating for Cold War. Do I think it's better than MW? I'm putting this at a C. Now, this one may bother some people because people are like, oh, Rhipr, Cold War was way better than MW. Cold War as a game is overall better than MW. I just don't agree. I don't. I think MW, in everything that it had in its interface and system and engine, made it better than Cold War. They, when Cold War came out, they killed the snipers. They made sure that the snipers couldn't do anything good. They made sure that this game that was supposed to be, a rushed game, but we all know it's gonna be rushed, but a great game from the, trailer, like every COD looks from the trailer, was such a downfall. The updates are so slow to be released, and overall, just a letdown. This one was a massive miss the mark situation where, because of the rush, really killed it and lowered its ranking. Warzone. Okay, now this one's gonna bother some people. automatically, I'm just gonna get this out of the way. People are either gonna be like, Rhipr, this is an S+ game. Warzone is its own COD. It is its own fucking thing. It's constantly being updated. Why is there still no anti-cheat? Why is there still a bug every launch? Every update launch? That kills it from being an S+. It does. Now we're going down the list. Is it S? Is it as good as MW3? Is it as good, better than BO1? Right? This one's gonna bother people. Is it better than MW? Which the engine they got it from? Yes. Guys, this is between an A or S game. Truthfully, I would argue this is like an A+ genre, but because we're going off of this, I mean, I'm thinking about really what it did for the community as a game. Truthfully. I would say this is an S tier game. Fair rating in my opinion. It's definitely not an S+. By no means. It won't touch MW2, BO2. But the one thing I will say is that this game called Call of Duty Warzone has really changed the Call of Duty community in so many positive ways. Yeah, there may be cheaters. That is, I mean, honestly, the biggest issue it has and why it probably will never be an S+ game. But until they get rid of that and decide to, hey, we're going to release things that aren't just worth money, I think it's a pretty fair rating to put this as S. And overall, I think this is a pretty fair list. I don't know about you guys, but I think this is a pretty good list. So what I want you guys to let me know is in the comments, put your thoughts on my tier list. Is there anything you would change? Is there anything you're like, maybe do this or maybe do that? Let me know in the comments, guys. You know, what would you move? You know, and if you have a tier list, comment either, hey, I have a tier list, and like a way to do it is like tweet me, right? Tweet me on Twitter. My Twitter's @xripper, link in the description, guys. Go check it out. Tweet me on Twitter. What is your tier list? Or like send me a picture to @ me in the thing, @ me in the post or in the mentions so I can take a look at it, because I'm really curious. But I think my tier list is pretty fair. I know there's gonna be a few people debate about, but overall I think it's fair. And no matter what, MW2, BO2, untouchable will always be. And yeah, I'm gonna stick by that. So peace.